Good morning, everyone. It's Dr. Myron Rolle, 5:45 a.m. Tuesday morning. Walking into Mass General Hospital. Several buses here to help bus in workers to fight the effort against COVID-19.
Every workday, Myron Rolle is faced with the growing reality of coronavirus.
Did you go down to the ER today? Or ED, I guess you would call it?
Yes, I went down to the emergency department, and I was walking through the emergency department. I was seeing so many individuals with respiratory distress and respiratory compromise, and the numbers are staggering. Our neurosurgical floor has been transformed into a floor just full of COVID-19 patients. It is hectic, that's for sure.
10 years ago, I met the former NFL defensive back under very different circumstances as we walked through the historic campus of Oxford University.
Do you feel the ghost in a place that's this old and steeped in history?
You do feel the ghost a little bit. You recognize the history, you recognize the ghost, you recognize the fact that you're in a very enchanting place, a very historical place.
At the time, Myron was a Rhodes Scholar pursuing a master's degree in medical anthropology. 10 years later, he's a third-year neurosurgery resident at Massachusetts General Hospital.
So as soon as you get into the hospital, which I'm here now, we have to put on these protective masks. Everybody has to wear them. It's a hospital.
At the moment, he's thinking like many of us.
The pandemic pummeling America.
All the patients in this room, they all have COVID.
Our bed space, our operating rooms may even be turned into ICUs because there's so many people that are either positive with COVID-19 or suspected of having it. I'd say our supplies are pretty limited right now and dwindling. So here's typically where our mask would be for surgery. But because they're needed elsewhere, there are no masks right now.
A decade ago, Rolle was studying at Oxford to become a brain surgeon while also training and preparing for the 2010 NFL Draft. To do so, Rolle had to skip his senior year of football at Florida State.
There's a sacrifice of not playing football for a year. There's a sacrifice of, possibly losing a step, so to speak, in the NFL's terminology. There's a risk, a chance of me losing some of my football ability is real. It's a real concern for people.
What's the last goal you wrote down?
Last goal I wrote down was first round. First round. I think that explains it all. I want to be a first rounder.
Good.
Instead, Rolle fell to the 6th round, drafted by the Tennessee Titans. His NFL career lasted 3 years.
Honestly, looking back on it, I wouldn't have it any other way. 10 years ago, I always had the thought that after football was done, that I would go into neurosurgery. We have an epilepsy surgery today. It's one of the surgeries that we're able to stay on schedule despite COVID-19. Got to get to work. Let's do it. Football has never left me. I still wake up in the morning and think of the operating room like a game. Like it's showtime. Let's perform. I got to do what I got to do because people are counting on us right now. This is our time to help very sick people. And so that motivation continues to drive me every single day.